Now we're live. We did it. Yay, we did it again. Uh,
Yeah.
oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
It's
Okay,
like no one.
okay.
There we go.
All right.
Hi,
All
Catherine.
right, good
Hi,
good
what's
deal.
this, Hank? Oh, hi,
He
everybody.
hello,
How you
everyone.
doing? Hello.
All right, welcome to a special sort of side quest edition of another dry run. I am your host, Samantha Page, and with me, of course, is my co-host, the lovely Onyx Rose. So thank you for being here. Um, just to kind of give you an idea of where the plan of the show is for today, because I think we got a good show for you. Um, one of the things I need to mention is that Autumn Rose, who used to be my co-host, who passed away unfortunately recently. She of course went by the moniker of the Trans Witch, and
Oh,
so
man.
yeah, and so Jason was sort of a get, but that Autumn got before she got ill, and I'm not a paranormal investigator or a trans witch. So I today, in preparation for the show, did a little research about the guest, and the guest is their name is Jason Hassler, and and in that research, I learned that they identify as a cisgender straight male. So we're going to spend a little time asking them why they adhere to that mental illness. I think today, even though we're inviting him
Yeah.
on to be on a paranormal investigator, we're going to explore why he thinks, if he is even the right word, why Jessica thinks that being cisgender is whatever. So that will be part of the show today. The other half of the show is going to be our discussion of a lovely coming of age story that I'm sure all of us can relate to in one way or another. And that movie is what, Onyx Rose? I'm sorry.
Ma vie en rose.
Yes.
So my life in pink.
Right. And of course, like I mentioned, it's a coming of age story that all of us, especially for parents, can relate to in the world that we're living in today. So, and scene. Just some basically backstory. This is a get that Autumn had set up, and this is a friend of Autumn's. And to give you a little bit of back history, when Autumn started her radio show, Jason Hassler was already working at the in the station. He runs a show called Hassling the Paranormal, and Jason had agreed to interview, so to speak, Autumn Rose sort of introduce her to the listening audience as part of Autumn's first show. And Jason is a straight cisgendered male, and during that interview, he went where everyone seems to go when it comes to us in the questions. And Autumn and I used to give him crap all the time about that. And rightfully so. And but anyway, so Autumn set up an interview with him on this podcast to promote his show. And her idea was that we would interview him the way that he interviewed her. And from that was sort of born this idea that we were going to just ask him all the questions that we get asked generally. And so that's sort of what the premise is. Jason may remember this conversation about this idea from way back. Maybe not. He might be a little caught off guard, but he's very generous, and I do appreciate him not only creating a Substack to do this interview, but also being generous with the fact that he would be here to promote his radio show, but instead he's going to play our little game. Now, for the real other half of the show, we are definitely going to talk about the movie My Life in Pink, which is the English translation of the French movie. It's a 1997 French movie, and it involves a family in France dealing with a child who says that they're a girl. And I think the point primarily first of all, I'd never seen the movie, and this is the first time I saw it in preparation for today. So Onyx Rose, thank you so much for recommending it.
You're welcome.
It's a beautiful story. I kept thinking to myself, my God, this is my life, but in French.
Right,
So,
right,
right. And I
right.
kept thinking, I wonder how many other girls like me are having those same thoughts if they're watching the movie, along with us. And
Right.
so, we're going to talk a little bit about that. And I can't wait. It's so Onyx Rose, since we're going to start. Jason, he's here. All right. Well, Jason, we're going to bring you up now and just go with the show. So
Oh,
if you don't mind, we'll save the movie reviewing and discussion. Uh, a coming of age story that we could all relate to,
no.
for later. So anyway, Jason, I'm going to send you hopefully an invite here. Yeah, let's see. There it goes. Okay. All right.
Paranormal Hassler.
Parent, it's a
Come through.
very aggressive name. He goes out and makes ghosts angry, apparently.
Right. Ghost.
uh, right. I'm sure that he will,
I'm
that he,
a ghost.
Hey,
yeah,
how's it going? I'm Jason.
all right. Thank you, Jason. I'm so sorry I didn't introduce you properly when you joined
No,
with us,
you're
but thank
good.
you for your time here. Um, so this is my co-host, Onyx Rose, the lovely Onyx Rose. Onyx Rose is going to probably have some questions for you too. And
No.
But first of all, I did want to mention that you were a guest suggestion of Autumn's, and that your interest is in, I guess, paranormal investigation. You
Yes,
identify as a paranormal investigator. Would that be fair?
that's my
Um,
pronouns. Yeah.
okay. All right. Yeah,
No, but
pronouns.
really, what are your pronouns? We
Yeah,
don't look this up. What are your
right.
pronouns?
I'm just the whole boring he him. Just male guy. So
That's
Okay.
it. That's good
Huh.
enough.
Okay.
I wouldn't
Um,
want to like misgender you and say she. So
right.
you know you
Um,
know that wouldn't be too bad. But
all right. So one of the things that I'm very curious about is that in my research in preparation for having you on the show, I found that you, I guess, are identified as a cisgendered straight male. Would you
yeah,
agree with that? Okay. All right.
yeah,
And so what was your real name?
yeah. My real name. I don't want to talk about that.
Oh,
Like that. That's in my
okay.
past.
Oh,
I don't
interesting. You know,
actually. It's. I'm on the witness protection program at this point. So.
all right, well, Jason's going to make it interesting, or Jessica. Anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
so Jessica, I got a question for you. How
Yeah.
do you know that you're cis male? When did you first figure it
Okay.
out?
I was like 8 or 9 years old, and I was watching MTV, and Janet Jackson came on,
Ah,
and I knew at that
ah,
point
ah.
women was my thing. Yeah,
huh. Okay, so
yeah.
But how did you know you were a guy?
yeah, and how? I mean,
I mean, maybe I'm not. I don't know. No, I really just kind of I like guy things in women.
oh, guy things.
Yeah,
Okay, now,
Guy things.
like
so
sports and you know that kind of
let,
stuff.
let
Yeah,
me ask you this: you
yeah.
mentioned that you like women.
So I like
Oh,
sports
go ahead, Onyx Rose.
Well,
too.
women like sports, but not at the same rate that men do, unfortunately, which is something I always laugh about because, like, people think that, like, they're like, "Hey, pay WNBA players what NBA players make," and I'm like, "If women supported the WNBA at the same rate that men did, they could."
Mm, that's a
I
topic
think
for another.
women the
What's that?
WNBA a lot. I think the WNBA, I think right now is is more popular than the NBA, the WSL. Wait,
Yeah.
no, the WNBA is more popular than the NBA right now. Their
Well, the
All
NBA
Star
is not going,
game
but yeah, yeah.
I hate
is
sports homework.
higher
Don't make me do
rated
sports homework, please.
as well. So
As a basketball fan, I can tell you I didn't watch either the WNBA All-Star Game or the NBA All-Star Game because 'cause they're kind of, yeah, pointless, but
Mm.
I don't know it. Yeah,
I have a follow-up question from what basically you said at the beginning in there, and
okay,
that was that you
yeah,
liked women.
yeah,
Let me ask you this. Um, do you disclose when you date women your fertility status?
yeah,
Oh, you do?
yeah.
So you would
do
agree with
you
me
do you
that
get tested? before you date any woman?
Um, if I've been slutty, yeah.
Well, how does sex work for you anyway? I mean, first of all, have you had a vasectomy or have you been
I
circumcised? I mean, have you had a surgery?
I I am circumcised. That this is true, but
Okay. What
yeah,
does it look like? What does your penis look like?
just like a penis. Like if you look hard enough on the internet, you could probably find pictures. To be honest, but
Touche. Okay.
yeah,
How does it work? Can you orgasm?
yeah. Thankfully, yes.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good at least. But like,
Yeah.
how does sex work for you?
Well, it depends on
Yeah. How
you
do
know,
you do that?
how
Yeah.
do I do sex? Usually I find a consensual female partner.
Okay,
That,
good.
that
Good start.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, and
Hey, that's a very
yeah,
great start.
yeah. Which people, consensual is the hottest thing on the planet. Really, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like not having consent is disgusting. So I find a consensual
Yeah.
partner, and
Uh-huh.
then hopefully I can figure out somehow to arouse this woman, and
Well,
you
what does
can't
that
really.
make her though? If you're a straight cis man, does that make her straight?
I mean, she doesn't have to be straight. You can have sex with a bisexual woman or even a lesbian woman. I mean, as long as she's down in the moment.
Yeah. So do you date mostly
Ugh.
just people who identify like you or
Identify as a woman,
Do you date
or
lesbians?
straight
I mean,
cisgendered
Do you
I
date
people?
mean,
lesbians?
no, because that would probably not work out real well for me. I mean, I might have like a
But
one
do you
night.
have sex with lesbians?
I would have sex with with a lesbian if she wanted to. Yeah,
Yeah. Well,
I don't know what she.
I've heard that
Yeah,
straight cis people tend to be promiscuous. So
I mean, I would
uh,
probably just disappoint her. But I mean, like, like
why is that? Is it like, do you take medication? Do you take
no, she would probably just tell me the one in her drawer is bigger. So.
oh, ah. I'm not going to go there, but thank you for that information.
Right.
But let me ask you this. So, like, are you on any medication?
Is like for becoming a like things
No, just
cis male or.
medication. Just
Oh yeah, I'm
medication.
on lots of medications. I'm fat,
You don't have
diabetic.
to
I
list them all, but let me just ask you
cholesterol.
that
Yeah,
you
yeah,
I know one's a statin. No.
yeah. I
You
I
know,
do I do some medications. Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
And like those medicines make your life better, right? The quality of life for you better.
Depends on the day. Yeah, depends
Okay.
on the yeah.
Yeah, but the
Sometimes
ultimately, I mean,
I mean
they
like
make
sometimes some medications can cause me to have stomach issues, and sometimes they can cause me to have all sorts of other issues. So
No, okay. All right. I don't know what you're on, Jason, and I'm not or Jessica. I don't know what you're on,
yeah.
Jessica, but um because obviously, like really
We can't
what was your first
detonate.
name? What was your real name?
Told you I cannot tell you because of witness protection.
Uh-huh.
I,
Okay.
I I'll,
Yeah.
I'll just stick. Even if I like, I think I would stick with Jason. Even if I like
Yeah.
identified as a woman, just to be different.
Ah, well, listen, I want to switch gears here just for a moment, if you don't mind. I don't normally talk about my faith except when it's convenient for me. And
Yeah,
I have a question, basically, and don't ask me any follow-up questions about this aspect of my faith because I don't know really
yeah,
anything else about my faith or any of the other tenets, nor do I follow any of the rules that are within this category where apparently this
yeah,
comes from. But you obviously know that in the Tamil history with regard to Hindu, there's the story of Aravan, right? And Aravan was a soldier who was going to sacrifice his life to secure victory for his fellow soldiers. And in preparation for that sacrificing of his life, he asked to be married. And of course, none of the women of the village would agree to marry him because who wants to marry someone and be a widow to someone who's dying the very next day? And of course,
unless
Krishna.
they're rich.
Well, yeah, but Krishna, being God, um, took pity on Aravan, and I'm probably mispronouncing Aravan's name, possibly on purpose, to come down. And Krishna took the form of a woman so that Aravan would have someone to marry, so that his wish could be fulfilled in preparation for his dying. And then Krishna also sort of mourned Aravan at the end of that, like a woman would. So obviously, being able to change one's gender, is spiritual dogma and faith, and that to be a cisgendered person, despite the fact that this story is probably 2,500 years old, that obviously shows that to be a cisgender person goes against divine law. And so, despite the fact that I'm not very religious, I do want you to know that you're probably going to hell for being who you are. And I want you to remember that, so that at any dark moment in your life, because I kind of get off on this a little bit,
Yeah.
at any dark moment in your life when you actually have an existential crisis, when you would maybe reach out to God for help or God for some community, I want you to remember, because it gives me a little, I want you to remember that God hates you because of the way you live your life. Okay? So when you reach out in that moment of need, remember, God hates you.
I've accepted the fact that I'm going to hell in every major religion. So
Same here. Anyway, so basically, you're basically living a life outside divine law by saying that you're just cisgendered or whatever it is.
yeah,
So it's basically a mental illness, right? Because you just want us, obviously, because you're interfering on my religious free speech and ability to practice my religion by existing. I want you to know that I will not be referring to any of your pronouns as you claim them to be, and I will not see you as you claim, because it's just a mental illness and it's against my free speech rights and my religious rights to treat you the way I see fit, which is to call you Jessica throughout this entire interview. So, and if you get upset about it, they're just questions, right? So don't get, you don't have to get all emotional about it.
I do have many mental illnesses, none of which have anything to do with my penis. But maybe after this interview, it will.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
I'm starting to be ashamed of it. I used to.
No, that's pretty funny, because maybe you should be ashamed of who you are, right? I mean, maybe society as a whole should be saying to you, bullying you, that you're wrong and that you should change who you are. So, and that would be in the best interests of everyone involved if they did that to you.
Do you think I would make a pretty girl? I mean,
probably. I think we all could. I mean, you didn't even bother to shave here, Jason. So cis males, I mean, they do the bare minimum anyway.
Yeah, I mean, like,
I'm
the
just
cool
kidding.
thing about being a cis male, especially, like, we can be fat and unshaved and, like, even unshowered half the time, and people are like, "Oh, it's just a stupid white guy," like,
yeah, right?
They just assume he's going to Walmart,
I have a friend who went on a date recently, and the gentleman wore cargo shorts to their date. First date.
Oh.
That's a message, I guess.
That's right.
What kind of message is that? Probably not the best kind.
That message is, I don't want a second date. That's what that message is.
There we go. I don't want the first date,
right?
Because he's going to turn around and walk out.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Yeah. So Jason,
can I?
Oh yeah, please. I'm sorry. Go, Onyx Rose. Yes.
Actually, I want to ask a kind of paranormal question. Do you know about all the scientists that are missing? Is that your realm of? Okay. Do you know what's going on?
I wish I did. My thought on what's going on is the current administration has no need for science, and and science disproves their bullshit, and so they gotta get rid of the people that can disprove their bullshit. Which is why they're gonna lock up 85-year-old Dr. Fauci soon. So,
yeah. That's horrible. Okay, right. Well, I guess we're going to end this scene now, and I'm going to introduce Jason as Jason. Well, I'm still going to call Jason Jessica, just the whole thing, because I think it's funny as heck. But no, I'm kidding, Jason. So Jason is. Oh.
The only thing I was really upset about when I found out that when I realized I was a cis, male, is I could never be in the WNBA.
Right. Okay. All right. So now I have to give some real backstory, because I want to talk about that with you.
Well, being 5'9" and white, I wasn't going to make the NBA. So, like,
so obviously transition time, right?
Yeah.
Because your life wouldn't be complete unless you compete in sports. So you are a paranormal investigator, and you have a radio show on the same radio station as mine, and that's KXRW FM here in Vancouver, Washington. And your show is called Hassling the Paranormal, and we're friends. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, we were. No.
Fair enough. Fair enough. And so Jason, I would like to thank you for being so generous with I know you came on here to promote your show, and we're going to give you an opportunity to do that, but you also agreed, and that was very kind of you to be generous with that time and allow us to do this sort of counterfactual for what it would be like. And so thank you for being a good sport.
Yeah.
And so now I would like to talk about paranormal stuff because, like Onyx Rose, I have
do
questions too. Yeah.
Hopefully
have a
I'll have the
question.
answers. Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you. Can I ask one thing really quickly? Do you know about the Miami the Miami Mall thing?
I have seen video of that, yeah.
Okay. What
Wait, what's
do
that? What's
you?
that? What's that? What's that?
Okay, so I don't remember the year, but there were at it's not the Miami Mall. It's like the Bayside Market or
Yeah.
something like that. But there apparently what is being said is that there were three rather tall, shadowy figures that came out of a vortex or a portal
Mm.
right in the mall, and everybody was running and people were filming. Now you can't find any information, any documentation on the net anywhere. Everybody's phones were erased, or so they say. The police said it was just like a bunch of rowdy kids, but the actual police presence, and you can see this online, the police presence was like 6 precincts, like all police, everybody, and they blocked that shit down. So what people are saying is that there were three alien type
Yeah.
things that came. No.
Okay.
If
Wait a
I
minute.
had if I had to take a wild guess onto what something like that is, either the bath salts were really good in Miami that day,
Mm.
or 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 the government is preparing us and seeing what we tolerate and exactly what we'll
There,
just forget about.
Mm.
yes.
It,
Yes.
and we
Yes.
have
Yes.
basically forgotten about that because it's been years ago. Now, right now, we're talking about let us make you shit your pants,
Yeah.
and it's been and like the biggest news stories right now are let us make you shit your pants, and two full-grown NBA players want to play in the WNBA because they can't play in the league anymore.
Right.
So yeah,
All right. So I need to back up
Right.
because I need to understand a little bit here. Though I totally agree with what you're saying. Um, what is a paranormal investigator? So, I mean,
good
who are you
question.
going to call? I don't mean, what is it?
So being a
Famous
paranormal
use.
investigator, there is a difference between, in my opinion, what I try to tell people is there are ghost hunters and then there's paranormal investigators. Neither
Okay.
one of those things are wrong. If you're a ghost hunter, maybe you're looking for like you when you're thrill seeking, really. And
Mm,
there's nothing wrong with thrill seeking. I do advise people to do it intelligently, get permission to be where you're at, that kind of thing. Don't just go in the cemetery in the middle of the night and and
yeah.
be respectful when you're there because why should you not be respectful? Like really you're talking to what you believe you're talking to is a ghost. What you believe most people believe is somebody who's passed on.
Mm,
So why would you not want to? It's basically I always tell people you wouldn't want somebody cussing out your grandparents, don't cuss out theirs, right? So,
yeah.
Right.
like,
Right.
and then
Okay.
you got paranormal
Right.
investigators who
Exactly.
are
No.
so basically my number one job as a paranormal investigator is
Mhm.
not as fun as people think. My number one job is to find logical explanations for what people are experiencing. So
Aha. Okay.
yeah, so
Uh-huh.
I will come into a place with the training
So
and
you're
experience
trying
that I
to.
have.
Go ahead,
What?
Onyx. Onyx Rose. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Are you lagging, honey?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. No,
Yeah.
actually, you're
So
getting ready to explain exactly what I wanted to know.
yeah,
So,
the popular word that they use in the community is debunk.
Mhm.
So we don't really use that one. We just logical explanation. So
no.
an example of a logical explanation would be like we were at this place called Billy's Bar and Grill in Aberdeen, Washington.
Mhm.
And their claim was every night during cleanup, when they're cleaning up, they would hear a woman laughing in the women's room. So we're up there and we're setting up our equipment to do an investigation, and they're cleaning up for their evening. And we hear the noise coming from the ladies' room.
Mhm.
So another investigator and I, Sarah, we go into the bathroom, into the ladies' room. We're hanging out in there to see what we can figure out. And
Yeah.
pretty soon we hear it. And what it turns out to be is they had one of those automatic air fresheners, and every time it went off, it like squeaked kind of. So it sounded like on the outside of the bathroom, it sounded like somebody was giggling or something. So we found
Right.
this out. So here's the logical explanation. So we go out of the bathroom. We're like, that's really cool, except for it's this.
Mhm.
They were like, before we went in, they were like, "Oh yeah, that was it, that was it." And now they're like, "No, no, 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 that's not it," because they sell their bar as being haunted. Now,
Mm,
was
mhm.
it haunted? We did find some things we could not explain, but I mean, we got some EVPs. It's been years, so I don't exactly remember what they were,
Okay.
but it's a cool place. But I mean, and then it's hard because we try to do historical. We try to come up with we do a historical report.
Okay.
So one of the claims is the upstairs of that place was a
Mm,
brothel.
mm,
Well, you don't really have historical reports of brothels because they weren't legitimate businesses. So if it was a bookstore, there would be paper trails on that. There would not be a
mhm.
paper trail saying it's a. So if somebody tells us this was a brothel in 1840 or whatever, we can't prove that usually. It's just
Mhm.
it's kind of weird how many that was actually a really popular thing back in the day. So I mean, they're popular now, but we just call them massage parlors now. But
Right.
but
So I have a question for you. So you said
yeah,
some things in there that I don't quite understand, which is EVP. I know that that's
mhm,
a thing, but I don't know what
yeah,
kind of thing it is. And then the second thing is that you have a team,
right,
and that you do an investigation, and it starts
mhm,
sometimes with a historical investigation before you even go in.
yeah.
And do you so are you licensed? Is there a license for paranormal investigators?
No, but there almost should be.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
so what an EVP is it's electronic voice phenomena, which
Mhm.
people believe are recordings of voices of ghosts, basically. So we're always running audio and video recording, and of course you don't usually hear them in live in the moment. You
Mm.
hear them when you listen back.
Ah.
And as far as my team, I have a team. It's called Big River Paranormal in Portland, Oregon.
Mhm.
There's also a Big River Paranormal that we're associated with that is in Boise, Idaho. So, they do Idaho, we do Oregon and parts of Washington.
Mhm.
And yeah, so we have a team. We put the team together and we do trainings and all that kind of stuff. It's really it's something it's not what it is on TV. So you're watching TV, everything's scary, everything's a demon, everything's hurting people. Yeah, paranormal investigation is safe. And if it wasn't, we wouldn't be doing it.
Mhm.
And so you're not gonna get possessed by a demon. You're not gonna get something to follow you home usually. And
What? That's what the Disney ride said.
yeah.
Usually, that's right. That usually
So
has to be thrown in there,
usually, well, I can't prove it doesn't, but my thought process is I have a hard enough time getting a living person to go home with me. I'm really probably not gonna get a dead person. So, like there's that. But like as long as you go in and you're respectful of the space and the spirits that are there, you should be safe.
Mhm, mhm.
Now,
Yeah,
if you go
I
in
agree.
there and you start cussing people out that aren't there and bitching your Zach Baggins, you're probably gonna have a bad time. And it's a really crappy, shitty thing to do to go into somebody's space, piss off their spirits and bounds. So
Huh?
we
Right,
we
right.
we don't do that. We go in and we're respectful. We try to find logical explanations. We talk to the spirits as if they were just living, standing in front of us, and we try to help. Our goal is to help the client feel more comfortable in their space.
Mm,
And so we don't just come in, investigate, and say, "Huh, that was fun, thanks." We do aftercare stuff. So we're always available for them to call. And we have different kind of depending sometimes say somebody calls me and they say, um, I have a demon in my house
mm,
and it's doing this, this, and this to me. And I've gotten calls and God, it's been
yeah.
horrifying what people claim.
Uh-huh.
And my first question to them, and it pisses them off most of the time, was when was the last time you saw your doctor?
Mm,
Because
Yeah,
the
should
most
always be the
logical
first
yeah,
question.
the most logical explanation is they could have something medical going on, whether it be mental illness or something that's causing them to have hallucinations, which could be a number of different things. Could be,
mhm,
some sort of chemical imbalance in your brain. Maybe it's a medication you're taking. Maybe it's a tumor. I don't know. Or maybe you're schizophrenic. All those things could be in play, but you should rule that out first. And so people get upset about that, but we find logical explanations like that. That's what we do.
Mhm.
And yeah, so pretty much I spend a lot of time. We spend a lot of time counseling the client, even though we don't have any. None of us are legal counselors. We don't have. We
So
don't have
your therapist would not really giving therapy because it's
yeah,
about a paranormal
but
experience in their
but
lives.
we have the experience to that shows us how to help people feel more comfortable. And sometimes there's nothing you can do. Like we
Mhm.
had one lady, she was claiming that she was seeing a man in her room every night, that the ceiling was bleeding, all sorts of stuff.
Mm,
Well, so we get there. I had a pretty good idea of exactly what was going on with this lady. So we
mm,
get there and we go into her bedroom, and next to her bed is this really old alarm clock. So we have what's called an EMF detector. And if you know what
mhm,
electromagnetic fields are, those things, depending on your sensitivity level to them, can cause some havoc on you. They
mm,
cause you to have headaches, fatigue, make you feel dizzy, make you feel like you're being watched. They can make you hallucinate if you have a lot of it and you're sensitive to it. So this lady had this old alarm clock and it pegged our meter.
mm.
So
Right.
and
Oh,
then
wow. Okay.
and then the wall behind her pegged our meter too, because that was the garage, and they had, like, this water softener on the other side, and all that was pumping into her head all night long,
Mm,
causing her to have these hallucinations. So she truly believed she was seeing these things, but she was hallucinating. So, I mean, like, I knew that it was either that or some sort of medication she was on.
mm.
So because she was and maybe I'm just being ageist on this, but, like, because she was an older person, I assume she was on some medication. Being an
Yeah.
older person, I guess I can be ageist. So, like, I I don't know what an old person's slur would be, but I guess I could use it now,
No,
you
no,
know?
no, no,
Yeah.
no.
I'm a grandparent, I can use, like,
Yes,
yeah,
Jason, you are.
yeah,
And I appreciate that. Let me ask you this
yeah,
question. Did you
yeah,
help her? I mean, like, did you say, "Hey, get rid
okay,
of your
yeah.
alarm clock"? What
Yeah, so
happened?
it was the funniest thing because her partner lived there with her. They for
Mhm.
whatever reason, they slept in different rooms. I guess a lot of people do that, but I don't know if I could do
I'm
that.
not gonna
But
yuck anyone's yum, so
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, at that point, is it your partner or your roommate? I don't know, but whatever. They had their thing going on, and it was kind of funny because we're explaining this to him, and he's sitting there with a shit-eating grin on his face.
Mm,
And, so he just kinda looks at us and he's smiling and stuff, and then he tells me afterwards, he's like, "I told her that." I don't know exactly what this man did for a living, but
mhm,
he was in the science field. So he
mhm,
knew exactly what was going on, and he
mhm.
told her this. She would not take it from her partner. So, like, she was just like, "No, you don't know what you're talking about." But then when we came in and said the exact same thing, he felt very vindicated that, "And maybe you should listen to me next time." It
Oh,
was kinda funny.
jeez.
Yeah.
So,
But
couples counseling and paranormal
yeah. But
investigation,
yeah.
full service, yeah.
Yeah. But because of the things she saw in that room, she couldn't be comfortable in there anymore. They ended up selling
Mm,
the house and moving,
yeah,
which was
I
sad because
imagine.
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
you just can't, you saw it. To her, it was real.
mhm, yeah. Let me ask you this,
When
oh, I'm sorry, Onyx Rose,
you start seeing the walls bleeding, then yeah, I can see
Yeah.
like not wanting to stay in that room anymore.
At
right,
least it wasn't
yeah.
real and she didn't have to clean it up. But,
Um, do you work with faiths? Are you
Mhm.
sometimes required to
So,
have yeah,
so what I try to do is one of the questions I ask is of the client what their religious beliefs are. So I will work within the best of my knowledge of their in just in respect of what their beliefs are.
mhm,
So,
okay,
yeah.
yeah,
And that's,
yeah,
that's something I will tell them, like, "Have you talked to your church about this kind of stuff?" And, some churches are really open to it, like the Catholic Church is open sometimes to, like, demonic stuff and the whatever
mhm,
else, but, like and some churches just shun you completely on that kind of stuff, and it's just depending on what your religion is and who
mhm,
your church is and that kind of stuff, but
mhm,
sometimes, people find comfort with their religion, so that's
okay.
one of the things that we push them towards sometimes.
So if just so I understand, so if I were a client, I would have
Mhm.
retained you because I'm having a paranormal experience of some type. I'm
Mhm.
not gonna go so far as to say that, like, my walls are bleeding, but,
Yeah.
my cabinet doors are always open every time I come into the
Yeah.
kitchen, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um, and it may not necessarily be true at every time, but it seems like it, right?
Yeah.
And you come in, and then what do? You do a history of the house?
So we would have a person do the history report,
Mhm,
and then I would come in and I would interview you about what's going on, and then a whole bunch of personal questions. And you don't have to answer any of these questions to us, but the more you answer, the better we can help you.
Mm-hmm.
So, we ask you all sorts of things about, their, your mental health, your physical health. We tell people we're going to ask you very personal questions. Just,
Okay.
whatever you're comfortable with, you can share.
Mm-hmm.
If you're not comfortable, we totally get it's not our business, but we can help you better if you tell us.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then we just kind of figure out we just chat with that person, figure out what they have going on, and if we're the right team to help them.
Yeah. Okay.
So
And if I understand again, you don't like using the disprove or debunk,
debunk
but
isn't really,
yeah,
yeah,
but you're going into these with a scientific method in mind, right? You're looking
yeah,
for
logical, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of because, my team, I ask the client, what is it that you're hoping to get from me?
Mm.
And if the client says, well, I'm hoping a psychic comes in here and tells me who it is and what they want, then I'm going to refer it to a psychic that I know. That's not for my team. We don't have, that's
Mm.
not what we do.
Mm.
There's a time and a place for that. And there's really talented people that I know that can
Mm-hmm.
do that kind of thing. That's just not what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So the first thing I have to ask is this the right client for me, or do I need to refer to
Ah.
somebody who is?
Okay.
And yeah, that's something we do quite a lot of.
Mm-hmm.
But if they're like, "Hey, I just wanna know what's going on here, can you help me?" Then we'll try to figure out, like you said, your doors are opening and that kinda stuff.
Mm-hmm.
First thing I'm gonna come do is I'm gonna come and make sure they're flat, you know?
Mm-hmm.
They're
Right,
crooked,
right, yeah, right.
like yeah.
Operator headspace first. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna try to figure out why. We're gonna try to see if we can make them open somehow. If like, like you open a door and like, a breeze comes through and that one, you just there's a million different things you could look at.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
then you have one of the overall factors that we've come across is if we go into a residential location and when we walk in, they're watching Ghost Adventures.
Mm.
We are there because they watch too much fucking Ghost Adventures. You know?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
So,
All right.
so yeah.
Oh, yeah. So I guess Onyx. So you have some questions I know because there are things that you want to know, Jason. I mean, like Jason, does Bigfoot exist?
I hope so.
Yeah, right. I do too. It just
Yeah,
makes life more
Okay,
interesting.
I've
let's
never
see.
had a experience, but I hope so. I mean, I've talked to very people that I believe to be very credible. I mean, I've
Hmm.
talked to, with my show, I've interviewed like Cliff Barackman from Finding Bigfoot and
Hmm.
the Ron Moorhead from the Sierra Sounds, people who are really well known in the Bigfoot, and these are really credible stories and credible people.
Mm.
And so I hope that it's real. I don't imagine because there's so many reports of what people believe is Sasquatch. They can't
Hmm.
all be misidentified as a bear or people just pulling a hoax. They can't all be. But
Right.
is big? The real question is Bigfoot an ape-like creature in the Pacific Northwest roaming around the woods, or is Bigfoot a paranormal creature? Is Bigfoot a paranormal creature, and is it like interdimensional or an
Hmm.
alien, or is that from a different planet? I don't know.
Hmm.
Like, and those are all
Wow.
things
Okay.
people
There's more
people
there
discuss.
than I thought. Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, and also,
yeah,
just
Lily.
out of curiosity, so there's like an event coming up here soon with the Historical Society. Oh, there's Lily.
Yeah,
Yay! Lily made a show.
Lil- Lily is here. Yeah.
Oh,
Hi.
what kind of
Oh,
dog is
getting
that?
kisses, getting
She's a French
kisses.
bulldog. She's a French
Oh,
bulldog. She's
nice.
hi.
Oh,
She's like,
Uh,
Daddy,
cutie.
Daddy, I'm bored. Yeah.
well, we're gonna switch gears anyway to the movie
Yeah.
soon. So, and you're
She's
welcome to
fine.
stay. I know you didn't watch
Yeah.
the movie with us, but you're welcome to stay if you want to
Yeah.
talk about the movie. Your point of view would be I'd be very interested in your point of view in this particular movie. But I do want to ask
Yeah.
before there is an event coming up, a saucer party, something like
Okay,
that.
so the Chehalis Flying Saucer Party is coming September 11th and 12th. 11th, I think it's just going to kick off. It's
Hmm.
going to be me hosting an event. So we haven't really talked about this much in public, but it's going to be like a town hall meeting where I'm going to invite people to come in and tell their UFO stories, and
Oh,
that should
yeah.
be fun.
Yeah.
And the Flying Saucer Party, they'll have speakers, and
Hmm.
I don't know if they're doing it this year, but they usually have a parade.
Okay.
They encourage people to show up dressed as their favorite alien, that kind of stuff. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
No,
there'll be
wait,
like
back up
live
for
music.
people who may not
Yeah.
be from this area who don't understand why Shalala is interesting in a flying
So
saucer.
Chehalis is they believe now New Mexico might argue this, but
Cool.
and they
Let's
have
start a fight.
Yeah, well, they did that. I mean, it's all in good fun, but they believe the term flying saucer came from Chehalis. So I can't the man's name escapes me right now, but
Mhm.
he was a pilot, and I believe it was like in the 40s, maybe 42,
Yeah.
maybe 47.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly. But
Yeah.
he took off. He was a pilot. He took off from Chehalis, and I believe he was flying toward Yakima,
Mm.
and he saw what he described as 9 flying saucers.
Okay.
So when he said that, that's kind of what came out into the
Mm.
newspapers and that kind of stuff. And they believe that's where the term was coined, flying saucer, because it was what looked like a saucer to him, and that's.
Yeah. And
So
Chehalis, the city of Chehalis, this is from the
yeah,
historical society that throws this party, right? This
yeah,
is because this
yeah.
history for
It's
the town.
it's at the Lewis County Museum,
Uh-huh.
which is
Yeah.
also a haunted location. So
It all, my
yeah,
gosh, we live in such an interesting area.
yeah, yeah. That like I've had some cool experiences there.
Mhm.
Autumn Rose, she was with us there once, and they had what used to be the smoking room, and
Mm.
she's like, "Can I go into the smoking room?" And I was very clear with Autumn that it used to be a smoking room, you know.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 So Autumn, yeah.
Mhm.
So she goes in there and does her thing, investigates in there, and then we're listening back. There was a very clear no, you know?
No, when she entered? Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So she's
Oh,
like,
that's
"Now I
funny.
gotta go back and tell them I'm sorry."
Yeah.
That's
Uh-uh.
that's so funny.
But hopefully she's able to tell them now, but,
Right? In person. Yeah, that's
yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
She's also one of those people that've told me once she's gone, my EVPs are gonna be fun, so I'm waiting to hear from her.
Yeah, she swore that she's
Nice.
gonna cuss for you, so you'd never be able to use them in any of your shows.
She told me she's gonna show up in the most opportunity ti she said, "You're gonna be having some fun one time," and I'm gonna be like, "What you doing?"
That's hilarious. I love that. I love that
Yeah,
for her. So, so one of the things, and this is like a weird sidetrack here, but
yeah,
so anyway, so Shalala does this officer
yeah, Chehalis
party.
does the flying
Chehalis,
saucer
thank you
party,
so much.
yep,
And there's a parade. I wonder why I can't
The
pronounce it.
parade.
Yeah, a
right.
parade.
It depends on where you're from. Yeah.
Then they do.
I don't know if there is gonna be one this year, but there has been parades in the
Uh,
past.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
I
things
love the idea of it. The whole thing is
yeah.
just really cute. Just
So what
everybody
happened
dressed up
is
as aliens.
Yeah, what happened is, the Lewis County Museum shut down for a few months because
Mhm.
their director I don't know what happened with the director, but he's no longer the director.
Mm,
So
Mm.
but they'd already had the party planned and
mhm,
some of the spaces paid for and all that kinda stuff. So when the new director came, he's like, "The money's already spent, we have to do this." So he
mm.
really doesn't know what he's doing. He's just trying to throw this together as fast as he can.
That
So,
sucks. Yeah,
yeah, so
yeah,
I'm trying to help him with that as much as I can, and it should be a fun time. He
yeah.
what he said is, "We're gonna have the flying saucer party light this year, but until he gets it figured out." So I'm trying to make it as unlight as possible and help him get good guests and speakers and that kinda stuff, so,
Well, I appreciate that, and then I certainly know
yeah,
you as a very active member of the community here. So,
yeah.
and an ally, people like me. So, thank you again for letting me, people like us, for letting me play with your sort of
My straightness.
yeah.
Your straightness,
Hey,
your
at least I didn't.
cisness,
I wrote a whole thing on alligator or anagata. I can't even pronounce it. And it's probably
Anagata
hilarious.
Davida.
Yeah,
So
Inagata
so
Vita.
so
No,
basically what we're saying is the weed at your house is good.
No, 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 the humor is.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
The sugar, it's not the weed.
right.
yeah.
No, but I was gonna go on a onogatophilia one too, where I was like, do you get sexual pleasure from your identity being a cis straight person, and then take you down how it was all just based off of your sexual,
That's a good question because now I'm gonna have to think about it if I do. Do I get
right?
turned on by
Does your
men?
identity give you sexual pleasure? And if so, doesn't that make you suspect?
I
Like
didn't know
everybody
that
gets
does.
sexual pleasure from themselves as their identity,
I
from their
would
internal world is what they
tell people that
experience.
everybody's a little gay because who's giving more hand jobs than a straight man? Truth be
Oh,
told.
oh, wow. That should have come with a warning. That should have come with a warning, Jason. Okay. Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, we all do it regardless of what genitalia we have. So, is that gay? I
Do
don't
we
know.
all? I mean,
No,
I'd like to think
I
we all,
wouldn't call
but
that.
no.
No, I wouldn't either. But some people would. Like
Mm,
Andrew
No.
Tate would probably think that was gay. because he
Well,
thinks that
Yeah,
girlfriend
Andrew
is real.
Tate is probably
yeah,
gay.
yeah.
Well, you saw what he was wearing when he got arrested. There's no way he's straight.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I
I mean,
know.
that was something I would wear. But anyway,
A straight person did not put that together for him.
yeah, no.
No
No,
way.
no.
Okay. All right. Well, Jason, again, we're gonna switch to your gears now to talk about a French movie from 1997. And you're welcome to stick around and hang out and hear about what this French movie, My Life in Pink, is all about. And
Yeah.
I wonder if Lily's seen that, being that they're French.
yeah,
I don't know.
Lily. Yeah, well, Lily might have comments too. So yeah. But anyway, this was so just in case, so you might not know, we do a movie sort of like discussion at the
Yeah.
every episode, and at every episode we suggest a movie to watch along if you want to play at home. And this week it was Onyx Rose's pick, and Onyx Rose picked a absolutely delightful movie that I'd never seen before. And so, Onyx Rose, do you mind telling us about a little bit about this movie and why you picked it?
Okay, so the name of the movie is Ma Vie en Rose, which is My Life in Pink in English. The movie, first of all, I went to see this movie just off chance.
Mhm.
And it came out like I think I saw it in 1999, maybe
Okay.
2000. It was at a art house movie theater.
Okay. Mhm.
And yeah, so it affected me. But the movie is about okay, so the movie's about a trans girl named Ludovic,
Right. Okay.
and
A 7-year-old trans girl.
a 7-year-old trans girl who insists, throughout the movie that she is a girl. Um, Her parents don't see it that way in the
Mhm.
beginning,
No
but
one does.
they humor her by letting her wear dresses, and then take it from there. Like I'm missing something.
All right,
Let's
so
see.
so I'm going to barge in for just a moment, if you don't mind, Alex.
Yes,
Um,
yes,
so first of all, what I particularly loved about this movie is, first of all, that it's beautifully filmed, and it's very interesting. It has, to me, sort of the suburban quality of where it takes place. It gives a feel of from Blue Velvet, where it's like suburbia is
Mhm.
beautiful on the outside, but then when you start peeling away the layers, you find a lot going on. But so it gives you that sort of suburban feel, and basically what this is it's to me, I mean, this is my life story just in French, right?
Yeah.
That's the way I thought about it. It isn't exactly my life story, obviously, but I can relate almost through the entirety of it. And that's because, what Ludwig is experiencing is what she knows to be true for herself. And those would be typical of any young girl of that age. And she has a crush on a boy across the street who goes to her class, who her father works for as part of
Right.
his job. And Ludwig has, brothers and sisters, um, and she starts basically expressing that she's a girl and that she and again, this is before the culture wars, right? This is before people
Yeah.
would have, some sort of pejorative with regard to what maybe is being experienced, at least through some sort of political or other means.
The
The
word they
react,
kept
Mhm.
I'm sorry, the word they kept on using was bent, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
and that is, that is
hmm
a term, I guess that means like a boy who likes a boy is how they describe it. So gay,
yeah. The fruit
which
fly.
is not exactly,
hmm Yeah.
we find out that this is not what it is. She
hmm
is a woman or a girl. I shouldn't say
Yeah.
a woman. She's a girl.
Yeah. No, she's expressing that to her parents, and the keys to this that I found the most interesting about this movie was primarily what it shows is persistency, right?
Right.
She is throughout persistent in her expression, and to the enormous discomfort of those around her, even her peers, other children, and the parents, the community, the school. Yet she is persistent and her representation of who she is and what she is, at least that she believes she's a girl.
The
And so this
school
move,
actually
hmm
kicks her out.
yeah, yeah,
Kicks her out of school because they don't know exactly what to do with
hmm
a
yeah.
girl who is trans.
Yeah, it's a heartbreaking scene because the parents are called into the principal's office,
Right,
and then the principal says we've received a petition, and we have to address this petition.
right,
And it turns out that every parent in her class signed the petition to have her removed from the school, even
right,
those who were pretending, of course, to be sympathetic to what Ludwig's parents were going through. Um,
right.
and that's heartbreaking. And you can see um, the pressure that this family who is dealing, again, this is pre, mobile or pre moral panic, um,
Right,
dealing with an environment and a community that doesn't know what to do here, and has a lot of misconceptions that it's either the parents' fault or that they're not being strict enough or that they're being too permissive and they go through that struggle too. So, in this story, as we find out, Ludwig's is
Ludwig.
above it all. Yeah, is they have an air of optimism. They're just like, they're confident in who they are,
Right.
and they're just like waiting for everybody else to get it too. I
Well,
mean,
there's some really telling parts. There's one part where
mhm,
Ludovic tells, I don't remember who she's telling this to,
mhm,
but she says, scientifically speaking, you
mhm.
know, boys have an XY and girls have an XX.
Yeah,
My X got dropped in the trash
right.
and I got Y instead. It's science, you
Yeah,
know. She
yeah.
believes this
Oh yeah.
and she knows it to be true.
Yeah, and
Um,
and 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 so and what's interesting to me is that this movie was written partially by and with the director and with a lesbian woman. So,
right,
and it was my understanding it was the lesbian woman's idea to do a boy who thinks they're a girl. And from that comes this story that is remarkably, at least to me, remarkably close to what my childhood experiences were. The confusion from the community, my parents, especially my father, wanting to, man me up and puts. I mean, they put Ludwig in soccer,
uh,
and it's and this effort to somehow masculinize a child who's telling you repeatedly and persistently that this is how they see themselves in the world, and after time, she begins to internalize that fact that everyone, her peers, her parents, her brothers and sisters, the school, the community, everyone is telling her she's wrong about who she feels she is. And
right,
just how effective, how damaging that could be to a child to be told repeatedly, your view of you is wrong, and how much she puts up with that in order to be herself. And she gets to the point where she believes that her father being fired, the community ostracizing them, they're spray painting slurs on the garage door. She begins to internalize the fact that she's the one that they're is causing all of this to her family, and that she
well,
begins to go ahead.
yeah,
I'm sorry, I'm
as you're
so frustrated.
saying,
This is
no,
I
no, no,
really
no,
like
no,
this
no.
movie. I really like this
As
movie.
you're saying this, though, you're right.
Mhm.
She's saying this, but her parents are reinforcing this.
Yes, they
Her
are.
mother
Mhm.
saying over and over, "It's your fault that
Mhm,
this is
mhm.
happening. You are
Yeah.
not this. You are not
Just
this."
be a
You
boy,
know,
damn it, and make this all go away,
right?
right? Mhm,
Stop. Right.
mhm,
You're hurting the family. Stop doing this.
mhm.
And she goes as far. Okay. Let's-
I know, I'm gonna
Um,
cry. I'm gonna cry. I'm so
Okay.
okay,
So she
okay.
goes as far
Mhm.
as cutting Ludovic's hair. She
Yeah.
had this nice little
Mhm,
bob, with the bangs,
mhm.
and she cuts her hair to make her look like a boy.
Yep.
I have to stop right there because I had a friend um who was killed by
Mhm,
her father
mhm,
because she was trans.
mhm.
Um
I'm sorry, yeah.
a lot of similarities in this movie. Her father instead would cut her hair. She had beautiful long hair. Her
Mm-hmm.
father shaved all her hair off. You know, the end result was
Yeah.
death, murder, suicide.
Yeah.
But
I'm sorry.
that you know that I think that yeah
Yeah.
okay.
I can
I'm gonna
relate to,
just leave it there.
I don't want to cut on that or step on that, but I just want to say that I can relate to that. Yes, please, Onyx Rose. I can relate to that story because my father also used to use cutting my hair as a punishment, and making me do that. And in my life, it seems that, first of all, any advancement of who I was and my interest in what I liked was met with hostility. And you're wrong, and you got to change. In my, and then to have something as personal as basically your hair be controlled by someone else. So not only is your world wrong, but you can't control your body, um, is pretty tough, even if you're a child. And it was a punishment for me, and it was extremely heartbreaking to see her mother, cutting Ludwig's hair with the trimmers, which kind of was what I got. And she's, you
And
know,
she did it out of rage, you know. It
yes,
wasn't. It
yes.
was
Hmm.
rage.
Frustration, tired of all of these
Frustrated
negative
rage.
consequences to both Ludwig and to the family. And we're going to put an end
But
to
she
this.
blames
Right.
on Ludovic.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Um, Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. And so, obviously, Ludwig begins to disassociate. If the entire world is telling you you're wrong, Grandma, who I loved as a character, teaches Ludwig a trick, which is that when the world
yes,
gives you, not the right answer, you can go into your head here and imagine the right answer in the world it would create. And so Ludwig becomes very good at disassociating and sort of living through this dream world that she creates involving a Pam doll, which is kind of like a Barbie doll, but probably not.
like a
But
Barbie doll. Yeah,
yeah.
and yeah.
Mhm.
Now the oh goodness, there's a interesting theme in the
Mhm.
color that is used in the movie.
Oh
So
yeah.
it is called My Life in Pink. In the
Mm.
beginning, um, the movie is pink. Like you see a lot of shades of pink and red and
Mhm.
orange, very light, happy colors. And then after Ludovic's hair is cut, you know, the
Mhm.
colors become more blue
Yeah.
and more muted and more gray, you
Yeah.
know, and more desolate
Yeah.
until the part where she flies with the Pam doll
Mhm.
and the mother goes up the ladder. And,
Yeah.
you know, the father's like, why did you climb up a billboard? And,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, yeah,
Yeah. Um,
I think that was the turning point for her.
Yeah, no, I mean, that was like the culmination basically after the family had
We
been
did,
ostracized, and then he got fired because of, ostensibly and
yes,
because of Ludwig. Uh, and
we did
uh,
leave one part out
oh yeah, of course. Go ahead.
where Ludovic, did try to kill herself,
Yes.
by
Hmm.
freezing
Hmm.
herself in an ice box
Yeah.
and was found just in time.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. So
um,
so after a sharp incident, when Ludwig, performed femininity, the family gets very upset and expresses this sort of, Ludwig's father has been fired now, and it's his fault, Ludwig's fault. The father doesn't say that, but the mom does. The father tries to say,
over and over.
yeah, the father tries to say, no, people are just hateful. But um, and so Ludwig, now internalizing the fact that, the reason the family's suffering is because of them, uh, decides that they should, harm themselves. And it's easy to understand, given the environment that this movie depicts of everyone, the squad. I mean, why I say this is like
Everyone,
my, yeah,
everyone.
yeah. I mean, I moved every 3 years because my father was in the Air Force, so, I got the opportunity to present myself in a new school every 3 years of childhood. and um, and sometimes it went better than others, and sometimes it didn't. Um, but I certainly can, remember my expressions of femininity or who I was at certain grades, and having the entire class react in a certain way that made it very uncomfortable to be in that school, and telling mom I had stomach aches and that I can't go to school today, not because I had a test I didn't study for. I loved tests, but because I just couldn't take the bullying anymore. The house would be toilet papered, and there would be negative our mailbox would be bashed by people driving by with baseball bats, and all of these things would take place. And this was at a time when it wasn't even trans people who were the pejorative. It was just the idea that anyone could, might be gay. This is
Right.
also at a time growing up when saying that's gay was, the instant way for someone to cast something in the pejorative. So,
right.
and it would
It
have
was the cool thing to
ramifications.
say.
Yeah,
No,
and kids would be ostracized. Gay kids would be
no,
ostracized. Trans
no.
kids potentially would be ostracized. I know I was ostracized and I was a trans kid. So, um, and it makes it difficult because the family didn't. My parents had no freaking clue what to do. It was the 70s, right? And so their greatest fear was that I would end up gay, and which
Yeah. Oh,
um, and so, but so my father did everything he could to try and man me up until he basically got to the point where he just couldn't. I don't know if he just accepted it, or what, but he just sort of detached and said, "You are what you are, and I'm just going to hate you because of it, regardless." But no, I just the emotional attachment seemed fractured after the point when my father basically had tried everything and exhausted everything he knew. I spent therapy with therapists. There's a scene where Ludwig's in there playing with cars, and the therapist's watching her play. Jeez, that's my life, but in French. And so this is a
but
very
doesn't she
interesting
start
movie.
with the dolls, like,
Yeah,
during that session,
yeah,
then she picks up a couple of dolls and,
yeah, yeah.
the therapist, eventually says, "Ludovic has
Hmm.
stopped communicating. There is
Hmm.
nothing more that I can do."
Right, and it's because she won't address him as who he is. I mean, her advice was, sometimes you just
Who
gotta
she
hide
is,
who
yeah.
what you want. I mean, that's
That's
great
yeah,
advice.
like right,
Uh-huh.
um,
Sometimes you just can't be
I'm gonna
yourself.
you know
um,
Yeah,
anyway.
when I saw this movie, I was not thinking anything consciously about
Mhm.
gender.
Yeah.
I was not there yet,
Okay.
but
So
even
in
at
a
that
way, Onyx Rose, can I ask you this? In a way, was this your world according to Garb? Was this your realization, a cracking moment, or was it just a further a path along, or further journey along the path?
it was a further stone along the path,
Okay.
but this was
Okay.
a strong one
Yeah.
because,
Okay. Okay.
I couldn't
Yeah.
figure out why I reacted the way I did. I mean, it
Hmm.
was ugly crying. It was
Oh my God.
ugly
Yeah.
crying,
Right.
so
Yeah.
and I couldn't understand it, but,
Mhm.
as the years went on, you know, the gender part became more important, and then I would watch it every once in a while. Same reaction. I had the same reaction today,
Mhm.
when I watched it.
Yeah. Yeah.
It destroys me,
Yeah.
in the best of ways. It's a
Hmm.
beautiful movie. It's a beautiful representation of parents going through denial, and then acceptance in the end,
And the
and
child's
allowing
persistent projection of who they are.
right,
You don't just go where the
right,
kid goes, "I'm a girl today," and, I mean, that's the
right,
meme or the rhetoric that comes from the conservatives or the people who
right.
don't understand us, is this notion that they believe that all a kid does is go, "I'm a girl." No, honey, I said it for
No,
years. I prayed
it
every
takes
night for
years.
years, God let me wake up as a girl.
Takes years. Yeah, this is
Every
not
birthday
yeah,
candle
this
I
is
blew out, same wish.
that
Sorry.
fucking basketball whatever dude with the wig, that
Mhm.
he's the
Yeah.
one who's like,
Go for it. Yeah.
I'm trans, I'm a woman
Sometimes.
sometime. Like,
Yeah, that
fuck that shit. Yeah, like, sorry.
No, no, I'm
Were you
on.
gonna say
no, you're
The
good.
system,
oh.
the system, the system, the mail's gonna say something. Let's go. Yay, go, Jason.
So it's Innis Cancer in Royce White.
Mhm.
Enes Kanter, I used to be a fan of his. He played for the Portland Trailblazers for a while,
Right.
and then he changes his name from Cantor to Freedom because he's an
Yeah.
American
Yes.
now.
Oh, we don't use no. That's his dead name. That's
Yeah,
his. No, we use his dead name. So
yeah,
Yeah.
he's a prick. He's a prick. So, and it pisses me off because here is somebody who comes from a place where he can't even go home because he's labeled a domestic terrorist because of his views against his president, and then he wants to come here and treat people like shit
yeah,
and
No.
call it
No.
freedom. Call it
yeah,
freedom.
No.
yeah. No, I mean, well, that's you're given right, I guess, apparently
Yeah.
to exercise your religious freedom,
Plus,
and your right to say people that
not only
you
that, if
see
if
them one
he
way, and you're just gonna fucking tell them that.
if he's a woman now, that motherfucker needs to cover his face because he's Muslim.
Yeah, interesting. I don't want to go into religion. I mean, all I know about Islam is that it comes from the same books as Christianity and Judaism. I mean, it's the same chain. It's just a different chapter so we got the New Testament, and then they got the next Testament. Is what I understand. It comes
but
with the
what
same
sucks-
traditions, same spheres, and same allegory.
What
Anyway,
sucks? What sucks about it all is we
Mm-hmm.
have an absolutely great WNBA season unfolding with some absolutely incredible athletes, and no one's talking about anything other than those stupid fucks.
yeah, I agree with you.
Well,
It's
okay,
Well,
so there,
oh, wait,
Yeah,
this will be good.
Yeah,
there are a lot of people actually talking about the actual game. These two fucks are a sideshow and like
but like
doing whatever
national
they're
media,
doing.
Mm,
But like
yeah,
it got like within women's sports, there's a big like teams are selling out every
yeah,
game. Atlanta Dream is number one. Like Angel
yeah,
Reese is doing big things. Paige
yeah,
Buckets. Az Fudd. They're pulling Dallas up.
yeah.
It's exciting. It's an
yeah.
Well,
exciting time.
Portland, we just got the Fire back here in Portland, so and they sell
Mhm.
out arenas a lot.
Okay.
So
Okay.
what's cool, we were bragging about Portland because one night the Portland Fire sold out the WNBA game. On the
Mhm.
same night in the city of Portland, the Portland Thorns women's soccer team sold out their arena in
Yeah,
the same city.
Yes.
yeah.
So
Yes.
Yeah.
women's sports are definitely on the rise as they should be.
Mhm.
But
Well, especially in
unfortunately,
the Sorry, in the
what's that?
Pacific Northwest, women's sports
Yeah,
have always been big.
yeah,
College, to professional, like especially with football, like soccer. Always big rivalries. Always great people playing. Trinity Rodman, got to shout out Trinity Rodman. And you know, I love women's football. I've been
yeah.
watching, for years. I remember when Randy Carlisle scored the goal to give the United States their first World Cup win over China.
Oh, yeah.
I remember that like it was yesterday. I love women's sports. I do. And I guess that's like back then I wasn't like, I hadn't transitioned and I wasn't thinking about transition, but I was like the one thing that kept on driving me, like you said, like Ludovic kept on insisting, like
Mhm.
in my mind, I was like, why do I feel like I should be a lesbian?
Yeah.
Not,
Mhm.
and not like, all creepy
Yeah.
and skeezy, like I'm a guy and I'm gonna try and get with some
Yeah.
lesbians. No, 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 no. I felt like I was supposed to be a
Mhm.
woman and I was supposed to be with another woman.
Mm.
And that drove me for years. I searched far and wide on the internet, and
Mm.
I found like a couple instances of male lesbians, and I was like, well,
I
that
agree.
doesn't really sound right for me.
Yeah. That ties back to it just a little bit for the movie. For me, for one of the most important scenes that I thought was, after being confronted by family, friends, the school, etc., Ludwig decides that he's going to try and perform a little more masculinity,
Man
and
up.
he watches, some boys play, and then he comes up with some in the mirror, some maneuvers on how to do that. And then he goes and finds one of the like girls from his school, and she acknowledges him in some way, and then he performs those masculine maneuvers, walks up to her like he's going to try and kiss her, and then she pushes him down and says, "I don't kiss girls." So it's
Right.
like she knew.
She knew. Yeah, she absolutely knew.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
And that's funny. And then we get to the end. and Ludovic is at a party in this new neighborhood with new people.
With all
And
this
there is
fear of not now, I mean, they're in a new neighborhood that's not as nice as where they were living, and he again still has internalized, despite the family reminding him every day, "You're not the reason." It's enough to hear it every day. Thanks. But but even you say it. But anyway, so and so Ludwig is now basically overly policing himself or herself. They're mask presenting. The hair's been cut. And they are overly, policing themselves in order to present the way the family feels she has to, and the way to avoid any potential ramifications. And they get invited to go to a party. It's a costume party.
Yes.
Right. And Ludwig shows up as I don't know, what would you say
Like
Ludwig was, like a pirate?
Musketeer.
Musketeer. It's France. It's France. We'll go with that. And the host of the party, who we understand is a Christine, but Christine appears to be a boy in look and in the way they play. And Christine is right. And Christine's mother has put Christine in a tiara and a dress, which Christine appears not to really appreciate very much. And so she convinces Ludwig, or tries to have them switch costumes. Ludwig is like, no, because Ludwig's terrified of the ramifications of what may happen. And Christine calls a bunch of the other kids over to help them sort of force Ludwig to change into the dress. And so Ludwig's terrified. Ludwig's terrified. They're out in the yard. They're afraid, terrified to come out in this dress because they know how the family, how their family's going to react, or how her family's going to react. And the mother realizes Ludwig's not around, and now the host Christine is in boy clothes, and she panics, and she runs out there, and she just explodes in front of this entire new community and all these kids at Ludwig about, why can't, and it's devastating. And Ludwig runs away because, especially when the young girl comes up and says, "It was my idea. It wasn't theirs. We forced her."
It wasn't hers. Yeah.
Yeah.
She,
no. Yeah. And so that scene is the one where Ludwig escapes into their disassociative reality with the with Pam.
He's always sprinkling magic fairy dust and wearing pink and cute.
World is perfect in Pam's world. And the film represents that disassociation by the fact that Ludwig goes and sits on a park bench that has a billboard in the background that is an advertisement for Pam. And so the film represents Ludwig's escaping to that world by and that's where we get then later the scene that you referenced earlier in the movie where the mother is found on the billboard. And that's when it finally connects for her that my child's well-being is more important than all the rest of what's going on, and that she has been focusing on the wrong person. And
that is the craziest thing to me as a parent, when people turn their backs on their transgender or gay children.
Yeah.
It's still your damn child. What are you doing?
Right.
You don't have to be happy about it. It doesn't have to make sense to you. But you still need to love and respect and treat your child like they're a human.
Yeah. Blood's thicker than water, so I don't understand why letting others and the community around you tell you how you should treat your child.
Well, your child, you created it.
Yeah.
You made
you make us. Cis people make us. It's you. It's your fault. Cis people make us. Yeah, I mean, you'll make more. You can get rid of us all tomorrow. We'll make more.
I'm guilty. My daughter's bisexual, so I'm guilty. I made it.
You've made one, yeah. So you proved the rule.
Let me ask a question really quick, because as a straight man, I would not know this. So my question is: do you feel now in 2026 that trans people are more accepted now or less than before? Because
totally. No, that's way less accepted. Way less accepted.
Look, 2000 to 2010 to 2019.
When was the tipping point? When was Laverne Cox on Time magazine? Is the tipping point? That was 2010, right? I believe that
Was
was
it
2010.
2010?
I believe it was
Yeah.
2000. That's considered widely as the trans tipping point. That was the pinnacle for us.
Okay. Yeah,
Well,
all I know is that when I started transition, there was no major pressure, like there was nobody clocking me, not
Yeah.
clocking me as in the sense of seeing that I'm trans, but nobody was worried
Nobody
about
cared.
me
Yeah.
being
yeah.
right,
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
But after the pandemic, it seemed like it really started kicking. I guess 2016 was Trump's first, and
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was started going,
Yeah.
and
And one can
but yeah,
assume, I mean, people have mentioned, especially Laney Bryant, the Laney has mentioned before, and others have, but this, I remember it this way, which isn't exactly the same that I think, that South Carolina tried to do a bathroom ban. And that was in 2016 or was it 2014? But tried to do a
oh wow,
bathroom ban. And the public perception at that time, close to the trans tipping point, was to say, that's going too far. It went so far, in fact, that the NCAA pulled out tournaments out
Yeah.
of South Carolina
yes, yes, I
because of this.
remember.
The
So,
NBA
so
pulled the All-Star game out of a
Yep.
city.
Yeah,
yeah. So
I
the
remember.
we were so supported that all of this,
Yeah,
and it caused South Carolina to
Yeah.
modify its bathroom ban in such a way. And my understanding is that the powers that be that wanted to, now that the Oberfeld had um, taken the gay marriage issue off the voter table, so to speak, um, needed a new scapegoat, needed a new moral panic, needed a new fear
yeah,
to help
of
motivate
course.
their base.
Yeah.
And the Heritage Foundation took that bathroom ban and the fact that it wasn't as successful as they thought and manufactured a new moral panic, slightly various of it, which is in sports. And from that, with the combination of sports and the moral panic, and of course the economic ecosystem that rage is in the environment and in the internet, it all just,
What?
keeps going and rolling. And now all of a sudden you have people who in 2010 didn't give a crap about us and would probably have just,
Right,
laughed us off or just ignored us or whatever. Probably not ignored. They still have questions. People always have questions. But,
right, right.
we certainly wouldn't have been the, oh my God, like my neighbor when they walk their dog and I suddenly see me come around the corner. It's like they freak the frick out. Like I'm, but
So
that necessarily wouldn't
are
have been the
are
same.
they? So my thought process is this:
Hmm.
I think that people were always as bigoted as they
Hmm.
are today.
Hmm.
Of course.
But
Hmm.
now it is cool to be bigoted.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
of
that's because of
yeah,
MAGA coming into power.
I mean,
yeah,
Yeah,
we all had that racist asshole uncle back in the day, and he
Mhm.
would say stuff at Thanksgiving we did not appreciate.
Right.
Now that racist ass uncle is standing in the grocery store saying racist stuff. You
Yeah,
know,
or he's holding the
yeah,
Thanksgiving dinner, so this is all part of his family's speech now.
yeah.
right.
So people are proud to be homophobic and transphobic and racist these
Mhm.
days. It's like a
Yeah,
badge some people have now, and
yeah,
I feel like they were always that way, but now that it's more socially
Of
acceptable to be
course,
those things, and
yeah,
because of this
of
current
course, yeah,
administration.
always.
yeah. I
Yeah,
I totally see what you're saying, and I agree. And it's
no,
unfortunate because politeness should extend beyond political whoever's in charge. Human decency, respect for human beings, human rights should extend beyond
that,
whoever's in power.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
Um,
always,
definitely.
I always tell people, if you know what genitals the person in the public bathroom has, and they're with you, they probably are not the pervert.
yeah, right?
Yeah,
You're the one
exactly.
doing the peeking.
Yeah, yeah.
Right,
Oh, I'm
right.
worried.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Just go to the only thing I care
That's
about the bathroom is that wash your damn hands. That's all I care about.
There you go.
there's
That's
the
perfect.
meme. There's the meme that I post where there's a purse hanging up in the bathroom stall, and then you see this lady's face saying, "I just need to check your genitals just to make
Right,
sure I'm safe." And I'm like,
right,
"Bitch,
right, right.
But that's
Exactly.
that's the meme. Like it's not us.
Hmm.
It's like everybody else. We
Yeah.
aren't. So we are not causing problems in the women's
No.
restroom.
And to be
Um,
honest with you, when has the discomfort of the majority ever had an impact on a minority's human rights?
right.
Ever, you know?
Well, like
So when you get offended because my pronouns, I mean, like, so?
you
Right.
shouldn't be
We're
letting your little children go into the public bathrooms by themselves, no matter who's in there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not going to discuss that
You
one
know,
either
but
because I have kids.
this is what I want to know about that. If you are a father to a trans girl,
Mhm.
um, where do you take her to the bathroom? Let's say she's
Mm.
5, 6, 7.
Yeah, right.
Um,
So she's Ludwig, and you've
What
accepted under the
I would
premise of the
do,
movie. You as the father have now accepted that Ludwig is who Ludwig is, and her name is now Lulu or something. And you have to take Lulu to the bathroom, and Lulu's wearing a dress.
I would,
yes.
what I would
I think
do
it's
is
self-explanatory where you
I
take
would,
Lulu.
I would take her to the men's room with me and put her in a stall. That's what I would do.
That's an option. Yeah.
Because that way I can be in there to protect her. Because if I walk into the ladies' room,
Yeah, that's gonna cause hell on
I'm
earth.
gonna be
Yeah,
Yeah.
arrested.
yeah.
I'll probably be
Yeah.
arrested. And
Mhm.
so I would take her into the men's room and
Mhm.
just like
Okay. There was a meme I posted recently, which is very interesting about this, and it was at a truck stop, in which was a father has taken his um, little girl. They're on a road trip, and the little girl had to go to the bathroom, and she wanted to go in the girls' room. And the father could not safely leave his young girl in the truck stop bathroom,
No.
on a
God no.
random road trip. And he goes in and escorts this child in there. And they're washing their hands when the video begins, and some guy is yelling at the father who's protective of his daughter washing her hands in the bathroom, screaming at him about he's calling the police because there's a man in the toilet. And that how he's interfering with women and the safety of the women there. And of course, the store
Yeah, there's
employee
this
is a
guy.
woman. Yeah.
It's a
And the
guy.
store employee is a woman. And she's like, trying to get him out of the, go away, sir. Go away, sir. So, and then she closes the door and she's like, I'm so sorry this is going on. And so, but I posted that video, and it reminds me of that situation. I mean, I'm sorry, but if my little girl says she wants to go to the freaking girls' room, and I'm dad, and I have to take, I'm not going to force my kid to go to the men's room.
Right.
And so, and so anyway, I don't know why I got on that. Thank you very much
There's
for
no
that scenario, Jason. That's a great idea.
there's no perfect answer.
Yeah.
Also, like
No, there's
No,
not.
life is
yeah.
there. Oh, that's the thing.
No.
Life is full of questions. I don't know why everybody needs answers. It's like tomorrow is a whole new set of questions because it's a
Right,
whole new
right.
day.
Work on today and worry about tomorrow.
We got to
I
know everything
I posted this thing
so that I can
online.
judge
It
people
said,
based off of everything I
Yeah.
know.
yeah. The thing I posted online the other day said we shouldn't divide bathrooms by gender, rather than whether you're pissing or shitting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes
Yeah.
sense to me.
And honestly, there should just be, there should be a line of like, if you want a urinal thing, okay, fine,
Mm.
do the urinal thing. But
Mm.
really, there should be there should be stalls, and the doors need to go down to the floor.
Yeah.
Now, maybe I can understand on the sides, being raised a little bit,
Yeah.
but
No, the
in the
first
front,
time I ever saw a gender neutral bathroom was on the TV show Murphy Brown. Do you remember that? Or I believe,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
where she's an attorney and she ended up, I
yeah.
guess, marrying Harrison Ford. Who's that actress?
No, not
Anyway, so
yeah,
that
I know
show
who you're
was
talking
in the early O's, wasn't it? I think that and they
early.
had it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they had a gender neutral bathroom on the show, and that was a running gag throughout the entire show.
Again.
Wherever, I mean, it was like you could go in as men or women and then use it it's a public genderless bathroom. And that was back in the 90s or O's. I don't remember when that
I
show
was
was.
having an argument with a guy.
I'll have to verify all that. I'm so
Yeah.
sorry, folks. Go ahead,
I
Jason.
was having an argument with a guy online, and he was saying he would never, no matter what, use a gender neutral bathroom.
Mhm.
And I said, "Do you not go to the bathroom at home, stupid?"
Right?
Right. Little,
Yeah. Right?
Like that's a gender neutral bathroom. And he was like, "I didn't think about that." And I'm like,
Oh, sorry, what's the wrong show?
yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, why do people
Candace
care so much?
Bergman.
Yeah, no. So that's Murphy. That's the actual Murphy Brown. It's not the name of the TV show. That is she. Okay, you are correct. That is Murphy Brown. I am
Yeah.
thinking now of a different. Maybe it's Boston Legal. It was a Boston law show, and I believe that the actress, young woman, gorgeous, great skin, married Harrison Ford eventually.
Oh,
in the
Callista
course.
Flockhart.
Calista, yeah. What was her show? Boston
Ally
Legal.
McBeal.
Ally McBeal. Thank you. My edibles are kicking in, so I had to say your Again, that's my joke about I'm having a senior moment. Thank you very much for sounding that out with me. So the show Ally McBeal's running gag was that it had a bathroom that everyone used on every character in the show. And
Yeah,
you
it's
could,
true.
and they would hold
It's true.
meetings in there while people were using the bathroom sometimes, and sidebars
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
I actually
So
loved Ally McBeal.
It's a good show.
Oh,
Yeah. All right. I'm sorry. We've gone late, folks, and I appreciate you staying with us.
oh,
It was
yeah.
it was a very interesting conversation, and I again want to thank Jason for being on with us today and for taking time
thanks for
to
having me.
take those questions so well, and to allow us to sort of do our counterfactual, and then to tell us about paranormal investigations. And I'm going to have Jason on again, and give him the
Yeah.
whole show instead of instead of playing my game. But check Jason out. Jason has a Substack. I know you started your Substack for this, so I don't know
Just
if you
today,
intend
yeah.
to post. Yeah, but look for him, and I'm sure he'll post his episodes, maybe, or is some. Wait, who knows? I'm going to try and make him use it. But anyway, I want to thank you all for joining us. And Onyx Rose has her send out that we'll do here in just a second. But I just wanted to basically, I have to say that the movie that we watched today really, because I identified with the childhood going on in a number of different ways, but I was also able to see not only my parents and what happened to them in the course of my childhood, and it really brought to me clarity of how difficult it must be for trans parents today and for what they're doing for their kids.
Right.
Again, this family went through what's depicted in this movie, which is not too difficult to imagine as being reasonable,
No, not at all.
before the moral panic. So I can only imagine that what trans parents are suffering now, especially as our health care for trans minor, for gender affirming care for minors is being yanked away for certain people with Medicaid and CHIPS, and Medicare. And so my heart goes out to all of you. I love you. And the sacrifices that you're going through for your family are enormous and they're uncalled for. And I just appreciate so much that you would do that,
Yes.
for us, and that you are the kind of parents I wish I had. And so I just wanted to say that. So now, Onyx Rose, if you wouldn't mind taking us out, please.
Okay. Just really quickly, I want to say that I
Oh, yeah,
will
of
be
course.
live with Frederick Pogue, Hogue,
Frederick Pogue. Yeah.
Pogue, Wednesday at
Mhm.
3 p.m. Eastern
Nice.
Standard Time or Eastern Daylight Time or whatever it is on the East Coast.
That
So
time.
3 o'clock on Wednesday. Yeah.
Over by there, as you say in Chicago. It's that time. It's over by there.
We're gonna talk some maybe some trans stuff.
Cool.
I think
Yeah.
that's gonna be kind of fun. But yeah, so no trash is how
Mhm.
we end this show. No transphobia,
No
no
transphobia.
racism,
No racism.
yeah, no ableism, no sexism, no homophobia, no Islamophobia, no xenophobia, land back, reparations, no borders, fuck Trump, fuck ICE,
And
and
fuck
fuck cancer.
cancer. Okay. All right. Well,
All right.
that's
Right.
another one.
She forgot ageism. Now I feel like you left out.
Fair enough. Okay.
That's
Duly noted. All right. Thank you again for joining us. It's been my pleasure. And I hope you enjoyed the show. Hope you enjoyed talking with or spending some time with all of us. And we really appreciate that you do. To siblings, you are loved and you are very appreciated. And again, to trans parents, you amaze me constantly every day. And to our allies like Jason here, thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for your support. It means everything. And we'll talk to you next week. Next week's movie, I forgot almost, is El Dorado. Everything the Nazis Hate. It is a documentary about Magnus Hirschfeld and just the power structure of Nazis coming to power in Berlin and what the queer community was like at that time. And we're using it as context for our later view of Lily Elbe, of the Danish Girl. So, El Dorado, Everything the Nazi Hate, on Netflix. We'll talk about it. Love you all and have a great day. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.